It's December 5th, 2021, and it's time for episode 52 of Dinner from the Dining Car. We're doing something a little different. With Christmas coming up, a lot of you are probably asking, well, gosh, what are we going to serve with this turkey or this ham? So I've come up with a couple of vegetable dishes that'll go real great with either turkey or a ham. Speaking of turkey, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Ours was crazy, even with all the baking we did. Baked 4 dozen cookies, a carrot cake, and a blackberry cobbler. But anyway, back to this week. What we have is the New York, New Haven, and Hartford's carrots in mint sauce. And we're also going to do my roasted balsamic Brussel sprouts. First, let's do get everything for the Brussels sprouts out of the way because it's an easier recipe. First thing you're going to need, of course, are Brussels sprouts. Now, when you buy Brussels sprouts for this recipe, don't get the really big ones because you're going to spend way too much time and effort cutting them to make them smaller. I go with the smaller Brussels sprouts and we only have to cut them in half. You're also going to need olive oil. Whoa, that was weird. Olive oil. And you're going to need, camera flaked out for a second. You're going to need balsamic vinegar. For this recipe, you're also going to need Montreal steak seasoning or another steak seasoning. That's what these get seasoned with. You'll put these in a Ziploc bag with the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar, and then you'll let them marinate for half an hour to an hour, and then you'll stick them on a cookie sheet in the oven with the cut sides up, and you'll roast those at about 450 for 25 minutes. They come out a little charred, and they're kind of like candy. Hi, creamsicle. My cat's here. The second recipe is the New York, New Haven, Hartford's carrots in mint sauce. You're going to need 3 cups of diced carrots. That could be a bit of a bit of work because you gotta peel them and dice them up, and you need 3 cups. You're also going to need some cornstarch. You're going to need several tablespoons of diced mint. And I got this yesterday, and oh my God, does that smell good. You're going to need our old pal, butter. You're going to need the juice of 1 lemon. And you're going to need a few tablespoons of sugar. Just a few tablespoons. And basically you'll dice up your carrots. You'll blanch them in water for about 6-7 minutes. Then you'll take them out of the pan, set them aside, and in the saucepan, then you'll make the sauce. One thing I don't have here on the table is a cup of cold water. That you're going to need for the sauce too. So anyway, while I have y'all, I don't know if I'll be doing any more videos before New Year's, because the next couple of weekends, including Christmas Day weekend, are going to be insane here. The wife and I have to do more baking. We have like 10 loaves of Judy's banana bread to make, 6 dozen sugar cookies, and another cobbler. So yeah, we're going to be a little busy and a little tired to be doing videos. Now, if my voice sounds a little weird today, we got our COVID booster shots Friday, and I'm just feeling a little congested because of it. No fever, my arm quit hurting, but I'm just a little congested. So anyway, That's all you're going to need for this recipe, and enough of my personal life. So that's it, and we'll be back when we start cooking. We'll see you then. Okay, folks, we're back. We have the Brussels sprouts halved and marinating. We have a cookie sheet lined with aluminum foil. And we have our steak seasoning. We have the oven set at 450. So you have to basically put these in and play with them so the cut side is up if possible. Now you can leave the cut side down, it's just the cut side will brown a bit. This is, again, it's a pound of Brussels sprouts cut in half. Now what's going to happen is as these cook, they're going to get nice and charred up a little bit, and they're going to that balsamic vinegar is going to cook up and release its sweetness, and they taste like candy. So now we season them with plenty of the Montreal steak seasoning. You notice I must use a lot of steak seasoning because I have it in a mill. Okay, come here. There you go. Make sure they get all seasoned up good. The olive oil will also help them char up, and it'll also help the steak seasoning stick to the Brussels sprouts. Oh, there's one that got missed. We can't have that. We all have to have seasoning. Life is no fun without seasoning, especially if you're a Brussels sprout. I don't know what I just said there. Okay, now into the oven these go, with the oven set at 450. Into the oven they will go for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to go with about 22, 23 minutes, and we'll check them afterwards. So here we go. Wow, that oven's hot. Set the timer. Kitchen timer. And let me reposition the camera, and we'll start with the carrots. Be right back. Okay, now we start with the carrots. In that pan, you're going to put in a cup of cold water. I'm surprised the cat's not in here screaming about his dinner. And you're going to take your 3 cups of diced carrots. You're going to start this on high. And you're going to put these in here. Actually, for the carrots you need to add a little more than a cup of water because they have to be covered. So we're going to add us some more water sometime this week. Because I'm using filtered water. Let's try this. Wow, needs more. Okay, screw it. We're just going to use tap water. There. Now these will sit and they will just blanch for 5 to 6 minutes. Then they need to be strained. Okay, where is my colander? Where the heck did my colander disappear to? There it is. So much stuff. I have an awful lot of pots and pans. So just bear with me for a minute or two here, folks, while these carrots Now hopefully you got your butter out and let it get soft, because we're going to melt that stick of butter and we need the cornstarch. We need another little bowl. And my whisk. Now while the carrots are blanching, I'm going to move the camera over here so you can get a nice shot of everything else I got to make here. Oh, that's a pretty good position. I'll take that. Okay. Let's blend the cornstarch. A tablespoon of the cornstarch. Where are my spoons? A tablespoon of the cornstarch. Wow, this is really thin. Tablespoon of the cornstarch. Then you're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar, which we have right here. Right here on today's show. I know, that's a really bad Ed Sullivan impersonation. 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Done with that. Oh, this blows. Okay. Just kind of keeping an eye on the carrots. Okay. 1 cup of cold water. Make sure I don't spill it all over the table. And you whisk this until everything's dissolved. You're going to get something like this, just a little white mess, but you kind of have to, again, make sure it's all whisked together until it dissolves. Now you add 3 tablespoons of your mint leaves. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Now you'll notice I've taken the mint leaves and chopped the living snot out of them. It's nice to have a chopper. And lemon juice. We're going to do something a little different. If I can get it open. Gee whiz. rather than squeeze a lemon, we're actually just going to use a teaspoon of lemon juice out of the jug in the freezer. Okay. I know, that's the lazy way. And you just mix this all up. Until you get something that looks a little like that. Just a nice little mix of all your ingredients. Oh, you should hear those Brussels sprouts starting to pop. Those are going to be good. Okay, our carrots are pretty much boiling. So we're going to take these over to the colander carefully so I don't spill them all over the floor and drain them. Now, into your pan. As soon as you've done this last little bit of carrot. Over medium heat, you're going to put in your stick of butter. And you're going to melt that. Now, if I really wanted to cheat, I would just go ahead and that might work. That might taste pretty interesting. Come on, baby. Butter's taking a little longer to melt. Let's crank the heat and melt that butter. Gee, Tony, maybe you should have started this melting before you made the other parts of the sauce.
How are you melting the butter?
Stovetop in a saucepan.
Well, the microwave would have been easier.
Well, it has to, the sauce, the rest of the ingredients in the sauce have to go in this.
Oh, I see.
So, it's melting. Okay, that's melted. So now, we grab the sauce ingredients and we pour that in there. Wow, that smells good. And now we'll have to switch to a spoon. Okay, into that sauce goes your carrots. And hopefully you don't do what I just did and get them all over the frickin' stove. I got a few carrots on the stove here. And you just start stirring this. Now you're going to stir this until that sauce becomes clear. Whoops. Careful not to splash it outside the pan. Like I just did. That's bad. It sure smells good. Now, in case my brother's watching this, who is also recently diagnosed as a diabetic, you can take the sugar out and replace it with Splenda, and that'll work just as well. I just don't happen to have any right now, so I had to use the real deal. I know, bad Tony, bad Tony. And just let this kind of cook, and it'll start to boil a little bit. Now, when the excuse me, when the Brussels sprouts come out of the oven, we're going to stick them in a pan and put them in the turbo oven to keep them warm. And then we're going to crank the oven back up to broil and do our lamb. These carrots I'll just cover up, and oh my God, that smells so good. I've got to have a sample of that. Oh man. Judy, come here for a second.
Yeah.
Taste this.
Those need to cook a little bit longer.
Yes. Well, the sauce isn't clear yet.
That is delicious.
They have to cook until the sauce is clear. I know, they're insane, aren't they?
They are so good. Once they cook a little bit longer and they're a little bit softer, those are going to be the most delicious carrots I've ever had.
Careful, don't step on the camera.
What do you have all over the lamb chops? Mint?
A little mint, yeah. Quit kicking my camera. You just knocked it completely out of whack there, girl.
I'm sorry about that. You need the spoon?
No, not really. Because I'm using this spoon to stir it. And these will just cook and cook and cook. And now we're waiting on the Brussels sprouts for 7 more minutes. When the Brussels sprouts come out, like I said, we're going to put them in a tray, put them in the turbo oven to keep them warm. And this will turn down to low while the lamb chops are cooking. This is almost like creamed carrots.
No, it isn't. It's so much better than creamed carrots.
Yeah. Well, I said it's almost like creamed carrots. It just tastes better with the mint. And there's plenty of mint in here. 3 tablespoons of mint.
I like mint, so I'm really going to like this.
If you guys look at this, that's what it looks like. That sauce has to turn clear, so it'll be a little more time. And I don't know how much time, because the recipe's not too specific about it. The recipe is none too specific about it. So, 5 minutes.
I'd give it 5 minutes. That sounds about right.
Yeah, well, that's what the Brussels sprouts have left.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think that's about what the carrots have left, too.
Huh?
I think that's about what the carrots have left, too.
Yeah. I was originally going to just slice these carrots, but I'm glad that I stuck them in the food processor and diced them, because they cook a whole lot quicker this way. And I got some little chunks, some big chunks, and lots of carrot. And it is thickening up, so it's getting really creamy here. Now the drawback of this is you do have to stir it a lot. Okay. Oh, somebody's looking for his dinner.
It's not before yet. I think you wait a while.
Yeah. Somebody looking for his dinner.
Tell him I'll give him his dinner at 4:30.
You tell him. He's not going to listen.
I'll give you your dinner at 4:30.
He's not going to listen to me.
You're not going to listen to me either.
He's checking out the tripod right now. So yeah, just okay. I don't think you want any of this, kitty cat.
I don't think you want carrots or Brussels sprouts, green simple.
No, I don't think so either.
You want turkey, chicken, and beef.
Okay, down to low. And slap a cover on it. There. Okay. Check my Brussels sprouts again. Oh, they smell delicious. Well, I can stir this up still a little. Let me go back up to medium. And it is starting to get a little clear. I don't think it's going to get completely clear because of the stick of butter. I imagine margarine would have been a better choice, but the recipe calls for butter. And you know, you guys, if you've watched any of my videos, you know how I feel about butter. It isn't a kitchen unless it's got butter. One more sample of that, just to make sure. That's hot. That is definitely a mint sauce. Wow. We're gonna cheat and add a little more mint. Okay, back down to low, cover it up, there. Now, excuse me, we wait for the Brussels sprouts, which I do believe are pretty much ready. I'm getting them out. Okay, folks, it's been 10 minutes later. There goes the timer on the lamb chops. Now we'll plate this up, and you can see what she all looks like. 2 nice lamb chops for Judy. Let me get the Brussels sprouts out. Now we'll get some Brussels sprouts. And again, if you'll notice, these have got a nice little char on them.
That's funny.
And now we'll get Judy some carrots.
That's what I'm really looking for.
We've been smelling these carrots and we've sampled them a little bit.
Good.
And these taste insane. Is that a piece of Brussels sprout? Yep. How it went in there, I don't know.
I don't know. That's plenty.
And there's what we look like.
Let me get some spoons.
Lamb chops, roasted Brussels sprouts, and the carrots. And it all looks wonderful. Well, that's it, folks. Very simple vegetable mix. That carrots are going to need to cool down a little bit because they're steaming like crazy. So that's it for this week. If you folks would like recipes, comments, questions, shoot me an email at dinnerfromthediningcar@yahoo.com. Please, if you don't mind, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, shameless plug, please subscribe. Anyway, thanks for coming out with us this evening on this little adventure. If you make this, I'm pretty darn sure you're going to enjoy it. Have yourselves a wonderful night.